Satnam, I am Jaya Simrit Kaur. Welcome to Mantra Miracles Week 2 with working with the mantra Akaal. So I talked a little bit about Akaal last week and what it means, which is deathless or undying. And chanting Akaal calls upon that part of us which is deathless or undying, because here we are in these human bodies having this experience of earth, and it feels pretty real to us. And it is. And there's so much more than that. There's so much more to us. There's so much more to all that we are than just this finite little body on this little planet at this little time. And in fact, in the yogic path, we understand that our soul has been in incarnations before and will go on to incarnations after this lifetime. And when we can have an experience of the soul, then we can know that to be true, not just from some text that we read, but from a true experience, an inner experience that we are beyond this body and that we are beyond death and that we are infinite souls having a human experience. I don't expect you to believe that if you've never had that experience. I don't expect you to believe anything unless you've experienced it. And that's what's so amazing about the practice of Kundalini and yoga and meditation is it gives you an opportunity to have that experience, as yourself, as a soul, as beyond this time and space. And that's what's one of the many beautiful gifts about it. And so this week we are working with the version Sat Siti Siti Akal. And this is a beautiful mantra to meditate with and to chant to. This is a beautiful mantra to meditate with and to chant along with, to have that experience. So Sat is truth, and you know that from last month. Siti is honoring all that it comes after it. So the honorable Akal, when we chant it like this. And Akal means deathless, without death, undying, and calls upon that undying part of you. And so Sat Siti Siti Akal is a call, when we chant it, for the prosperity and the beauty and the ecstasy and bliss of that experience. So when we chant it all together, that is the experience that we have. Now, chanting gives you, especially when you're doing a Kundalini yoga practice, before we chant, we do physical practice or asana. And we do Kriya, which is a series of movements working with the body, working with the breath, and working with different mudras or hand positions. And what that does is sort of, first of all, it tunes up the body. It's amazing for the body, for the glandular system, for the blood, for the oxygenation, for the organs, for the ligaments. It's doing so much for your body. And it's also helping get the mind out of the way so that you can actually have a meditative experience of experiencing yourself as a call, as undying, and as the soul. And we can't usually, most of us, just sit down and have that experience. And I know for myself, I meditated for many years before doing Kundalini yoga, and I wasn't really able to get there. Sometimes I was able to have more peace and decreased anxiety and more calm and more presence at the maximum, but I was never able to experience myself as a soul and in that communion with all that is, with the creator, until I started practicing Kundalini yoga, because this very powerful practice helps get the body settled and the mind out of the way so that we can experience ourselves. And it does that by, and especially with this mantra, helping us become the observer of the thoughts. When we're inside our thoughts, we're just thinking thoughts all the time. We don't even know we're thinking thoughts all the time. We're just in that experience. But when we can get out of that and become the observer, and we have the awareness, then that's when everything starts to shift for us and we're able to have these experiences. So chanting this mantra is able to do that. Now, the other thing that it does, and the way that it's able to do that, is it's vibrating the pineal gland, which is right in the center of the head. And then that in turn activates the pituitary gland, and that's up here. And the pituitary gland is the master gland. That's the gland that controls the rest of the glandular system of the body. And when we're chanting and we're focusing and we have an internal eye gaze, etc., after we've done our Kundalini yoga practice, then we can have this experience where the pituitary and the pineal gland are secreting the nectar and allowing us to have the experience of bliss and ecstasy and the awareness and the observation of stepping outside of the thoughts of the mind to experience who we really are. And Sat Siti Siti Akal is a beautiful mantra to help us do that. And so I invite you this week to work with that mantra. There's many versions of it out there that are beautiful. In the playlist, which is below in the description, you can listen to it. And I also encourage you to listen to it and to chant with it and to chant along with the mantra. It's repetitive, so it's really easy to just like get the hang of it and chant with it. And chant with it as your eyes are closed and you're sitting in a meditative posture after you've done some asana. And I think that you will be pleasantly surprised with your experience. Now, if you're interested in having this experience guided in a class, there is one coming up in October where we'll work with Satnam and Akal. We'll do Kundalini yoga, some warm-ups, a couple short kriyas. We'll have a sound healing for Shavasana, and then we will do a beautiful meditation together. So I'd love to have you there. You can find out about that class below by emailing me at jayasimritkar@gmail.com or by checking out the flyer on my Instagram page at jayasimritkar. So I hope that you have a beautiful experience of Sat Siti Siti Akal this week. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next week. Sat Nam.